Hello and welcome to Thirsty Thursday Toys. Today we're going to make a Gamera 3 inspired cocktail and take a look at the complete collection of Kaiyodo Xebec Toys Hyper Gyaos figures. So let's start with our drink. I've gone through many different iterations of this cocktail, some of which may eventually end up on the channel, but I was trying to challenge myself to use exactly 3 ingredients, since it's based on Gamera 3. Aside from something with which to measure and a vessel from which to drink, you will need a shaker, ice, some Japanese sweet melon liqueur, a ginger liqueur, and a cinnamon whiskey. I know some people typically measure in ounces. I usually measure in shot glasses, which is about 1.25 ounces. So whatever parts you use to measure, follow this recipe. In your shaker, you'll need to add 1 part of that Japanese sweet melon liqueur. It doesn't have to be the big name brand. I tried it with cheaper stuff and it's still good. Next, add 1 part of a ginger liqueur. For this, I do recommend using something a little more expensive. I've noticed a significant difference in taste between that and the cheaper stuff when it comes to ginger. Then add in just a 1/2 part of a cinnamon whiskey. Any brand will do, but if you're really going thematic with this one, then you'll consider Gamera's signature fireball attack. Add in some ice, shake until chilled, and serve. Cheers! It has taken me a stupid long time to complete this collection. I think I got my first one from eBay in like 2003? So this was nearly a 20-year quest. In that time, I've been able to track some down through eBay, Japanese sites like Mandarake, helpful collectors from some Facebook groups, and I even found some in person in some small collectible shops in Japan. The most elusive was this clear one, and the one that I have is not even really all that clear. It has a lot of yellowing. I'm not sure if that's what would naturally happen in the material over time, or if this is sun damage, but this is one of 2 that I've ever seen for sale, so this may be as good as I'll get. If you can find a clearer one and you're not grabbing it for yourself, please let me know. Also, if you know of ways to undo that kind of sun damage, let me know. My brother told me some tips and tricks, but I've spent too long hunting this down to have it melt in some concoction. And I found this one on Etsy. In the pictures it looked so much more clear than it is here, so I thought it was the clear version. Turns out it's just the blue version with a lot of sun bleaching. A little info about these. Gamera Revenge of Iris came out in 1999, and 2 figure sets were released by Kaiyodo Xebec Toys in conjunction with the film. I'm not sure if Xebec is a subsidiary of Kaiyodo or what, or if it's even pronounced Xebec, Xebec. You tell me. One set had an articulated Iris, the other set had an articulated Gamera and a mini Hyper Gyaos. At the time, this was the closest we'd get to a Monster Arts Gamera, as this figure had an articulated tail, legs, arms, head, jaw, and a swappable burning fist. The Iris set, to my knowledge, was released in a full-color version and a translucent pink version. The Gamera and Gyaos set, on the other hand, had what feels like a few dozen. There were a lot of repeats across the sets of both the Gamera and the Gyaos. You'd have a regular Gamera with a blue Gyaos, then one with a red Gyaos, then one with a burning Gyaos, then a battle-damaged Gamera with a burning Gyaos, and so on and so forth. So I want to be clear that when I say I have the complete collection of Gyaos, I just have one of each type. Some of these Gyaos were also released in a single bag. I'd love to track that down at some point, but I have enough duplicates as it is. So you might be thinking, hey man, why just the Gyaos? Why not all the Gameras as well? 4 reasons. 1, I think they're just really cool figures and a neat sculpt. Not to say that the Gamera isn't great, but I also have to think about 2, shelf space. These are pretty small and easy to stick in here and there in a display. 3, I'm a sucker for multiple color variations of small figures. That's what keeps bringing me back to those Jurassic World blind bags. Number 4, army building. I can hear the soundtrack as our titular turtle stares down a swarm of these bad boys. So here's what we have. The most common ones you'll find are the navy and maroon ones. There's some variation on these, and I'm not sure if that's due to specific sets or the fact that there's like a million of these out there, and there are bound to be variations in paint. Some are a little lighter, some a little darker, like one of the ticket-attached versions. Some have more gloss, and some are a little more matte, like one of the battle damage sets. Then you have the metallics. The first one is from the bronze Laserdisc set. This one has a gold and bronze color scheme. This next one is from the Kyoto Battle Laserdisc set. This one has a silvery blue color scheme. This final metallic is from the gold set, and it's all gold with some black spray. Now we have the translucent ones. Like I said before, this first one is supposed to be totally clear, but has some yellowing. Next we have the translucent orange. This one appeared in a couple different sets, like the Shibuya Chase version. This also looks pretty sweet under a black light. This translucent blue one came with a translucent grayish-purple Gamera. I'm not sure why they picked some of the color schemes they did, but I'm not complaining. Then you have one of my favorites, the translucent teal. Finally, we have the glow-in-the-dark version, and yes, it does glow, and it's pretty sweet. Now, technically, these figures do have articulation just due to the way they're assembled. Both wings just plug into the main body, so you can rotate these around, but this doesn't make any sense. Depending on where you find them and which ones you're looking for, they could cost you a pretty penny. So, with that said, I want to wish you good luck on your hunt. Thank you for subscribing, and remind you to please drink responsibly. もう一度でき